Hey everybody, it's Emily at Schooling, and welcome back to another episode of Homeschool Tidbits. Welcome back to Build Your Library's Homeschool Tidbits. Today's episode will be episode 24, and we're going to be talking about preschooling, my thoughts on homeschooling littles. In this weekly video series, I'll delve briefly into a topic related to homeschooling, and I'll share some of my knowledge and expertise as a longtime homeschooling mother of 4 children, 3 of whom have graduated and 1 who is a college graduate. I talk to a lot of homeschoolers, and as a parent who's been in this game for a long time, I've seen a lot of homeschool parents looking for advice about curriculum ideas for their very young children. And there seems to be 2 schools of thought here. One is that early learning is super important and you need structured learning time for preschool age children. The other school of thought is that you don't need anything at all because young children are sponges and they're just going to absorb all this information like a sponge without any effort on your part. My opinion on this topic is that no, you really don't need any kind of homeschool curriculum for a preschool age child. However, you might want to make room in your day for some kind of structured learning activities. Small children do not need seat work or lesson plans or anything fancy or expensive. If you're a new homeschool parent on a budget, this is great news for you. All you really need to teach a preschool age child are lots of art supplies, a place for outdoor play, and a library card. Young children might not need any formal lessons, but they do need your time and your attention. When I first discovered homeschooling, my oldest was only 3. I was excited. She was an eager student ready to learn, so we went all in. Workbooks and math curriculum and phonics lessons, all of it. She was happy, so we went with it. Then my twins came along. While Sarah was an eager student, they were not all that interested in formal learning. When they were 4, I attempted to rope them into some learning activities, and it didn't go well. One of my twins was happy to go along with whatever I threw at them, but the other was not interested at all. And after a year of struggling because they were twins, and I thought, they needed to stick together and be on the same schedule, I gave my less eager twin a pass. Let them have some slack. And eventually they caught up with each other by the time they were around 8. And that less eager child, who didn't really seem to want to learn or do anything educational, she's the one who went to college. I didn't even start any formal lessons with my youngest until she was about 6. And even then it was very gentle and kind of relaxed. And I have 0 regrets about that. I learned from my previous experiences that formal learning before then isn't really necessary. Every child is going to learn on their own timetable, no matter what you try to make happen. Some are eager to learn and they will even ask for formal lessons. And others won't, and that's okay. They will all catch up later. A child who is forced to do seat work before they're ready will grow to hate learning, and they'll have a very negative attitude about school time. Giving them time to grow and to learn at their own pace will allow them to flourish and grow into lifelong learners. So I think there are 2 typical scenarios here when it comes to homeschooling littles. On the one hand, you have the eager parents like me who just discovered homeschooling and they are excited and ready to dive in and want to get started with their 3 and 4-year-old child. And on the other hand, are parents who maybe have school-age children and also littles, and those littles want to do school just like their siblings. If you're the first parent, I would encourage you to take a year or 2 for self-education. Learn everything you can about homeschooling. Learn about learning styles and different homeschooling methods. Maybe even deep dive into a topic that you've always been interested in but maybe didn't have the time to focus on studying. This is going to give you time to really learn your personal teaching and learning style. It'll also give your child some time to grow a bit before you start any formal lessons. Now, if you have a younger child who just wants to tag along with their older siblings, go ahead and let them. They can listen in on their older siblings' lessons, and if they want to do seat work, just let them color and draw pictures. So what are some other things you can do with a young child who you want to work with or that is eager to do school? Art. Art is always great. Little kids love art because it gives them the opportunity to express themselves in a different way. Make sure you have plenty of art supplies on hand, and don't be afraid of a little mess now and then, because that's what makes it fun. Gentle math. Don't worry about buying a math curriculum for your preschooler. It's completely unnecessary. The only math skills you really need to teach a preschool-aged child is counting and calendar work. And you can do both of these in just day-to-day conversation and activities. Talk about what day it is every morning at breakfast. Talk about the changing of the seasons. Talk about important holidays coming up and birthdays. All of this can be learned in just conversation. Keep a calendar in a prominent place in your house and point to it when you talk about what day it is each morning. Count everything, everything. How many potatoes do we need for dinner tonight? How many flowers did you count on our walk? How many grapes do you want with your lunch? You get the idea. And you can even teach basic adding and subtracting this way. So like, I gave you 6 grapes to eat and you ate 1. Now how many do you have left? It's an easy thing to teach without any kind of curriculum. And of course, reading together. Building a love of reading starts now. So set aside time each day for reading together. Young children might not have the attention span for chapter books, so you could read picture books together. Read for 20 minutes every day. That's just 2 picture books a day, and I can guarantee your child will want more than that. But this is how you build vocabulary. Teach them about story structure, the alphabet, and early reading skills. Make it a special part of your day, and they will come to love reading. Get outside. Take walks together. Play in the yard. Look for bugs and cool rocks. Talk about the different kinds of flowers and trees in your neighborhood. Go bird watching at your local park. Take them for hikes and talk about what you see. Bring a sketchbook along with you and pencils and let them draw something that they see on your outdoor adventure. Pretend play. This is so important. Give them plenty of things for pretend play. Dress up clothes. Plenty of imaginative toys that are open-ended, like dolls and building blocks and action figures and puppets. Let their imaginations soar. My oldest used to come up with the most elaborate pretend play. She would even script everything for you because she wanted it done a certain way. So she would give you the dialogue to say. She made up songs and she tried to teach them to us. She put on puppet shows and invented so many fun little stories. And I am not at all surprised that she grew up to become a writer. Pretend play is so important. If they want you to join in, just pretend it's improv. The rule of the game is yes and. With small children, I don't think you need to worry about formal learning. Because children this age are sponges, very eager to learn, they will learn so much just by spending time with you, living life and playing. For a small child, play is learning. So give them time to grow, and you will find homeschooling so much easier when they are school age. If you found this video helpful, I hope you'll check out Build Your Library curriculum. Build Your Library is a secular, literature-rich homeschool curriculum inspired by Charlotte Mason's philosophy of education. Based on nearly 20 years of homeschooling, I created the curriculum I wish I had when I first started homeschooling my own children. I spent thousands of hours cultivating the best literature to enhance your children's studies. Our lesson plans make homeschooling simple. Just open up and gather your books and go. Our easy-to-use lesson plans include everything you need to homeschool. Just add math. Choose from our full-year K-12 levels, as well as our fun topical unit studies and our newest product, Lit Bites. With Build Your Library, you will cultivate a home library filled with captivating literature, and you'll raise children who become lifelong learners. So snuggle up with our lesson plans and a great book or 3, and have your best homeschool year ever. I hope you found this tidbit to be helpful. Come back next week for more homeschooling inspiration. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.